already asked Alex some questions, so I'll start with you, Spence. We have we were getting to know a bit more about Jacob and his past and the fact that he thinks he has or he will develop CTE. What was
Mm.
that like for you learning about all these different unique medical things that are going on in the world and then you're into this?
Wait, what was that last part of the question? I'm sorry, you cut out just a little bit.
And that you're thrown into these weird and unique medical diagnoses.
Sure. Um, yeah, CTE. This is probably one of Jacob's biggest episodes as far as character development, but also self-development over the course of the season. If I had to say so myself, because it's the first time that he's ever gotten an answer as to why things feel a little bit off within him. Of course, he stepped away from football because of an injury, but who knew Jacob for surely didn't know that there were going to be long-term repercussions of the game that he only played through college. You know, he thought he was getting ahead of the curve, um, but yeah, it's been very cool to learn all the medical jargon. Genuinely very challenging at times. Fragnosia. There's like things that I probably still can't even pronounce properly, but yeah, it's so cool to be able to get like a kind of accelerated program into what our doctors in the world have to go through. You know, it's really cool, and it's also very humbling. But you also have a newfound appreciation. Spence has a newfound appreciation for what the doctors do because it is not easy, and you do not sleep.
So, I mean, poor Alex did not get much in research for mirror touch synthesia. See, even I struggle synesthesia. But CTE, there's a tiny bit more research, but there's still not
Sure.
a lot. So, what was that like for you? Did you look into cases of CTE and what it means?
I did look into some cases because, as somebody who has a football background myself, I don't know if I don't know if it's possible for me to have developed CTE. I don't think I had enough head trauma. But there are a lot of buddies of mine who I know firsthand, have firsthand experience of the battle with concussions over the course and just the head trauma built up over time, the memory loss, the tremors, sometimes manic episodes even. You know, there's a lot that comes with CTE. And I mean, yeah, I spent some time like, gosh, he was one of my favorite players, but Antonio Brown, like that whole case, I know he gets a lot of talk about that, but I looked into him a lot. But I also just did like, you know, the not the WikiHow, but the gosh, there's another website. But I did my fair research, and then my buddy Jalen, literally like one of my closest friends, I asked him, especially as someone who dealt with concussions a lot, like, yo, man, like, did that ever affect you long term? Like, did you ever feel anything like that? Someone who's very emotionally intelligent as well. And, um, you know, just trying to get that real life experience because although I'm not a victim or although I'm not someone who's dealt with that, I did want to be honest with Jacob and just be a solid vessel for him in his journey of possibly having it. Because we still don't even know if this is something that he has, but you know, symptoms are there, and maybe it's a big maybe right now.
So, Alex, let's touch on Van because he found an anchor in Erica. What's
Yes.
what's that like for Van now moving forward? He's somewhat got some sort of control.
Yeah. No, I think it's amazing. It's because not only does he get Wolf as his kind of, you know, anchorish in a way as well, but then Erica, yeah, Erica's this person who he can trust, who he can, lean on, and somebody that genuinely cares. And we've talked about it before, and I think in the pilot episode, she even calls herself kind of the quarterback of the team. And so there is that like leadership there that not only Van but all the interns can really lean into and trust and be there. And so she helps him, take what was this, crippling hindrance for especially for somebody who does what he does, like in the medical field, to then be able to use it as this great tool and use it as this like, you know, for lack of a better term, like superpower, so to speak. So yeah.
So what's it been like for both of you? We're seeing this friendship develop between all the interns now. And all of you came into this show new and you're developing this bond. What's it been like mimicking screen to real life to screen?
It's
I
great.
know on the
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah. No, no, no. I was gonna say like I knew of Ashley a little bit through her work, and I knew Spence from all my auditions where they get the breakdown and they have everybody's name who's already attached to the project. And if I had a nickel for every time I saw Spence Moore's name on a project, I was like, "Who is this guy?" And I'd look him up on IMDb, Google him, and see him like, "Who is this guy? Where he's in every show? Like, what the hell?" So it was really exciting, finally getting to meet Spence in person, but. Yeah, it's one of those things like we got really lucky in a lot of ways. Our I think a lot of us have a lot of similarities to our characters with certain things like personally like Spence being an athlete and a football player and
Mm.
everybody else has their little thing, but it was just kind of like there's just this camaraderie that we got really lucky with and everybody's really sweet and knock on wood, hopefully, we get to do it again for season 2. So
I too was a fan of Mr. MacNicoll before I met him. And I mean, our first day in Toronto, I saw him at the restaurant from afar, and I was like, "Is he working on this?" Before I knew any of the other cast. But yes, to the question, like I know it's gradual for our characters over the course of the season, as peeling back the layers and getting even closer amongst each other. But for us, as humans outside of our characters' real lives, it was super fast paced, like accelerated program type of process as far as like just getting to know each other and peeling back the layers because everybody's good people. What you see is really what you get, and everybody's so awesome and so accommodating and just so loving. Like it is a mini family, and I would be honored to do it with them 25,000 more times, genuinely. So yeah, we really lucked out to Alex's point.
yeah. I guess it was kind of challenging to try to like not be super friendly because of our dynamics as characters.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was,
that was a challenge.
yeah, but,
So just as my last question, what would you both take away from this series? I mean, I want to see a hell of a lot more of it. But if you do only get one season, what would you take away from it?
I think for me, it was the biggest part was kind of just really not forgetting or being more cognizant or aware of the people that suffer in silence, on a day-to-day
Mm.
basis, and just the people that are in my life that might be going through something, or and just trying to be a little bit more aware and sensitive in a way to that. And just kind of creating that, that compassion of like, all right, cool, like, life is overwhelming, and like, you don't know what somebody's going through, and just to truly try to be more compassionate and empathetic in day-to-day life. But
And then for me, like I would definitely say grace, giving people more grace because you never know the battles that they're facing, but also adding to that, just the sense of being able to overcome things with the right guidance and with the right support. I feel like you can overcome so much more than we as humans give ourselves credit for because we don't have the right healer or the right teacher or the right doctor because limited resources or whatever the case may be. But there is always a way to overcome your pain and with the right guidance and with the right support system. I think that's an awesome thing to be able to take away from the show, just who you have in your corner and who's healing you back to health, who's treating you back to health, who's treating you back to the best version of yourself. I think that's essential and super important.
Yeah. Real quick to add on to that, because it's such a good point. That's a huge thing, is like what I've realized too now in my personal life and friends' personal lives.
Hmm.
Great doctors and doctors that really care about their patients. There are a lot of them out there, but there's not as many as there should be, so to speak. You
Sure.
know what I mean? It's like it's one of those things that I never thought about. I was like, yeah, you go to the doctor, they kind of they fix you, they help you out or whatever. But there's like a great doctor who really cares and really wants you to heal, and there's a doctor who's kind of just punching in their time clock. It's like, yeah, I'm at work and here's the thing and here's what I think you have and whatever. And then I'm going out here. I got to go to a movie later, or I got to go take care of my kids later. But those
Hmm.
great doctors that are really caring and really care about their patients, they're, gems. They're something to really be admired and something to really seek out and to find. And they should get the accolades that they deserve. So,
Touche.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I am holding out hope for season 2 because we need it. So,
Yeah.
but thank you.
Open. Yeah. Thanks for
Thank
watching.
you, Alexandria. Seriously, enjoy the rest of your evening, okay? And thanks for watching. Yeah, that's Alex.
Bye.